message here. Walk away from these liars, these right-wing liars. Walk away from them. They're not looking out for you.
Sat there and you were lying, sack a dog mess.
I lied to the audience.
Get the message
Oh,
here.
you're a reporter.
No, I am not.
So you check no facts at all, right?
These right-wing liars. Walk away from them. They're not looking out for you.
I lied to the audience.
It's not even misleading you. They're lying to you. They're rich, these big cigars, all of that. Yeah.
The comment you made earlier about the beheadings in the desert?
Seriously, that's a serious question, Governor.
Well, this was an interesting evening tonight, and of course you saw a complete display of the difference between myself and Terry Goddard. You know, somebody that wants to tax and spend, and somebody that had to make hard decisions. So we will continue to move forward.
Okay, but Governor, seriously, the fact is, if you're talking about, you were complaining about Terry Goddard and unions and people not coming to the state. Maybe people aren't coming here because you're making comments on Greta about headless bodies?
The big thing that didn't happen tonight was Terry Goddard never gave us a plan. Terry Goddard has never had a plan. If he has, he hasn't shared it. It's about time that he steps up and brings us a plan. This being governor is not an easy job, Terry. You need to get your plan out.
And what about the headless bodies?
Can you answer the question, Governor? Please answer the question.
About the headless bodies. Why won't you recant that? Do you still believe that?
Okay.
Come on, Governor.
Okay, thank you all.
Governor, what do you mean?
Governor,
Come on.
During the debate, her Democratic opponent, the state's Attorney General Terry Goddard, asked Governor Brewer about her frequent claims that people are turning up without their heads in Arizona. That has been part of how Jan Brewer has made the case for the Papers, Please law, SB 1070. She made the claim about beheadings a number of times on television. She made the claim that as a result of illegal immigration, authorities in Arizona were finding headless bodies around. That claim, of course, has been very thoroughly disproven, and the governor's opponent, Mr. Goddard, hit her for it last night. Here's what happened during the debate.
What is hurting us right now, economically, are statements, false statements made by Jan Brewer about how Arizona has become so violent, that we are a place of fear, that we have beheadings in the desert. Those are false statements. They cause people to think that Arizona is a dangerous place, and they don't come here and they don't invest here because our governor has said such negative things about our state. And Jan, I call upon you today to say that there are no beheadings. That was a false statement, and it needs to be cleared up right now.
And you know, Terry, I will call you out. I think that you ought to renounce your support and endorsement of the unions.
The Senate Republican leader says he wants to hold hearings on repealing the 14th Amendment, one of the most important foundations of American civil rights. Our fifth story tonight, once more in case you couldn't believe I just said that out loud. The leader of the Republican Party in the U.S. Senate wants to hold hearings on repealing one of the constitutional amendments that his own party put in place after the Civil War to prevent former Confederate states from discriminating against former slaves, literally to return us to the days of the Dred Scott decision.
Why won't you recant that? Do you still believe that? Come on, Governor.
Okay, thank you all.
Governor, what do you mean? Governor,
I mean, you've made statements about these basically terror babies that are being raised overseas to be brought back here. I'm just asking for proof. You say you are still gathering it from unnamed former FBI people.
Well, actually, when your folks called me in the preliminary, that was part of the conversation. They did not tell me that you were going to grill me for the specific information that I was not.
Had somebody done this in your courtroom, you would have asked for evidence, and you have none. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on. I'm disappointed you did not present any evidence.
America, Anderson.
Everyone wants to protect America, Congressman.
It's not a courtroom.
Okay, everyone wants to protect America, Congressman, both Democrats and Republicans. Congressman, appreciate your time.
September the 11th. September the 11th. September the 11th. September 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 11th.
September 11th. September 11th.
September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11th. September 11, 2001. Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein. Saddam. 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 War and danger. Continuing danger. Hour of danger. Very, very dangerous world. Grave new threat. Horrific acts of atrocities. Murderous regimes dedicating to killing us. Tyranny and terror. Slaughtered thousands. Weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction, weapons programs, the deadliest of weapons, terrible weapons, nuclear weapons, poison gas, torture chambers, mass graves, deadly technologies, radical ideology of hate,
Terror of threats.
terror, war on terrorism, war against terrorism, global war on terror, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism. Global terrorism, 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 the evil terrorists, 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 terrorism, 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 global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, 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 the evil terrorists. Terrorists, 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 terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, global terrorism, terrorism.